Do we don't always do it. I think we should start with what you do this week.
Yeah, we can certainly do that.
But I got a question.
But before we get,
and it's gonna make a real. We might talk about it for the whole podcast just because.
Before we do things like that,
It's
though,
hilarious.
we should also talk about the fact that you still ain't got no headphones.
I know.
My man, get some headphones. You know what I mean?
I know, man.
Like we have a soundboard that has sounds on it. It doesn't just like, oh, it sounds like you're bored. No, it's a soundboard.
I promise you, I was actually looking yesterday online. I was, but I honestly at this point. So if I'm being perfectly honest with you, I'm reaching a milestone. And
Please
you better
do.
give me a round of applause because I guess we're
Well,
podding.
you won't even know if we're gonna get an applause because you can't hear it because you don't have headphones.
If we're podding, also you should put your timer on.
I mean, listen, I looked at the timer now. I know where we're at.
You know where we started?
Yeah.
Okay. I think you should give me a round of applause because
Well, I'm gonna reserve judgment on
I'm
that.
like 2 payments from paying off my motherfucking car, baby.
Hey, all right. Woo woo.
Hey, that's some real shit. Like, I don't know, man. It felt like it took forever, but
It's gonna feel nice when my car's paid off too, because I know that payment is a bit of a bitch.
that extra cash, man. Give me
Yeah.
it, please. I need my money.
It's time to get car number 2. Woo.
If I was an irresponsible individual, which, to be honest with you, I've been known to be in my life.
So
I'm not
I'm saying there's a
however,
chance.
I am not going to be this time. I'm gonna wait.
Okay.
But if I wanted to be in hypothetical land, if I wanted to play the game called Would You or Would You Not, I would definitely. I already know the car I would get. But listen, I'm gonna enjoy the extra money I got. I'm gonna try to make some moves with it. But it's just I just wanted my flowers for paying off a fairly large car loan.
Even having the soundboard here, it's not enough. I need like 50 keys so I can just be like, yo, man, how much money you got? Like that would have been the drop that I put right after that.
Oh, I don't got a lot, but
I know, but like
more later.
But it's like in a celebration of the fact that you will have more available funding.
I can't wait for that. Let them
Cool,
know
man.
who we be.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Kasson Avenue podcast. Great to have you here today. This is episode number 165. 165. Moving on up. I am your host, Adam, here with my brother, Osama, who has stepped away in the middle of the intro because that's fun.
Listen, my bad. I had to check to make sure that the other camera was on.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Production, baby. There's only 2 of us here. There's
Yeah.
nobody behind the camera.
It's true.
We talk to it like a bunch of fools.
But when the drop is only so long, so we can't even get through the intro with the length of it, and then anyway, whatever. Listen, man, we appreciate you for tuning in. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done that yet. I'm counting on it. Shout out to any new subscribers. I think we're up to something like that from last week.
Well, yeah,
So,
we're like 312 right now. So appreciate the few
on
that
up. What's up?
come aboard and decided to see what this podcast is all about. Hopefully you enjoy it.
yeah. Hopefully you're not just over there beating it to our feet. A bunch of fucking sickos.
I mean, while we're giving ourselves some advertisement here, I think there's a few things we can tell you about. We are on Instagram at the Kasson Avenue Podcast.
Yeah, we're everywhere at the Kasson Avenue podcast.
Yeah, luckily, there's not many other things that are named after what we are. So
We even got a TikTok.
we got a TikTok until they take it off of your phones.
TikTok. You don't stop.
And
until
then we
they make us
also
stop.
have a Patreon. Tell them about the Patreon.
We got a Patreon. So it has 3 tiers. Honestly, you can go ahead and subscribe to the first or second one, but there's not a whole lot of content there for you. The third one is getting all the content right now. And there's also still limited content there. We're working things out, whatever. But still go and subscribe, man. Support your boys.
The more you support there, the more we can make content for you on that platform.
Yeah.
And even more on YouTube. It's our ultimate goal to obviously be able to do this full time to provide you more content for us to get more of our stupid ideas out.
Because as we've discussed, every at the end of the pods, the beginning of the pods, I have to move this table with him, right? Because I have to have a 9 to 5, which hey, I'm grateful to have.
Yo, you got
if I
a
have
big
to.
desk though. Like honestly, if we're going by what
Nah,
success
word,
is
but
gauged
listen,
by,
listen.
and the desk is maybe at the top of that, like think about it. You
No,
go
but
into
they
a
gave me
corner
this
office-
because we closed the office.
yeah, but they still gave it to you.
It was an executive desk, I
This
think.
is
At
a
one
big
point.
ass. So you were at an executive desk. What more could you
yeah.
ask for?
Executive pay.
I mean that's probably a good point.
It's not very hard to see over there. But yeah, so Subscribe to all of our things. Watch
Please.
us. Stay informed on us. I don't give a fuck if you like us or not. Just do it.
Just know
Stupid.
we drop weekly Tuesday mornings, and barring any type of setback, we'll let you know if we're not able to.
feel
But
like-
please continue to support, and we'll keep dropping them. That being said, I have a question for you.
Well, all right, but I mean, you just said you wanted to get into like, how was your week? How was your mental
Well, we
health?
could do that.
How was your physical health?
Oh, you're
Are
gonna
you
ask me
feeling
about my
good?
mental health?
Are you sore from the last workout you
I
did?
am. At least
Did
I
you
hope
stub
that's
your
what
toe
I'm-
on the bedroom
at least
door as
that's
you
what I
walked
hope
in?
I'm sore for,
You
where
know what I
that
mean?
pain is
well,
from.
yeah, that's always a hope.
As you get older, as you get older, you be like, "Yo, is that pain from physical or
Someone's
internal
appreciating the knowledge
health?"
I'm trying to drop
Like,
on
I
you
need to
today.
know.
I want to find more places to put this. Sorry. Yo, you really need headphones, man. Just get some headphones.
Listen, all right, I'm gonna make it a point this week to buy some headphones, but I'm gonna buy like in the meantime, in between time ones. Like, I can't buy the ones that I want to buy right now.
Yo, we have meantime.
No, those aren't even in the
headphones.
meantime, in between time. Those are never again and not gonna happen.
You bougie with your headphones.
No, man, they sound
Nah,
terrible.
man, you bougie.
I love you, Dave, but those terribles are shit. Those
Yeah, but
headphones are shit.
even the skull candies,
Those aren't skull candies.
Nah, I gave you a pair of skull candies. Trying, you're like, I don't like these.
I don't remember that.
Bourgeoisie.
Yeah, a little bit. So I guess, how are you doing? First of all, what you do with your week?
I'm cool, man. It's been a relatively busy weekend, just helping a friend move, and sore from the top to the bottom on that.
How do you tell a friend no, you don't want to help them move?
No.
All right. Well, that being said,
I'm pretty straightforward about it. Like if we don't have some kind of like recency rapport,
recency rapport.
Yeah.
Is that a new phrase?
That's what I'm calling it. Like if we haven't spoke regularly in the recent past, and you're just like, oh, and unless we have like one of them friendships where we can go for a minute without speaking, and then everything's cool, like whatever. Don't ask me for things.
In general?
I feel like give back what you put out. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%. I think that there's no reason for somebody to ask you to help them move if they, for instance, didn't help you move the last time you moved.
I agree. And my other beef with moving, most of the time, this was a different scenario, but most of the time when I've helped people move historically, they haven't.
Historically.
You're supposed to be able to show up, move the boxes and whatever
That
furniture
doesn't work.
into the truck.
People who are
and
moving
call it.
are never prepared.
Why am I helping you put things in boxes and tape them shits?
Yeah, I should have been paid for this.
Nah, I'm about to go to the crib, man. Nah, catch me when you're done. Let me know when you need me to move this from. It's already like bad enough, especially if you don't live on like a 1-story residence. So yesterday it was 3 stories. So I'm up and down the stairs,
You
mad
should have
fucking time.
boxes stacked in the room next to the door that they're going to go out of.
Should be ready.
Moving shouldn't take as long as it usually takes.
No.
People just forget that they got stuff, or they forget to do things. Like, how would you forget to?
And have me some beer or something ready. Give me
I
like a
better
pizza in the middle of the
I better
day.
be able to pick slices as I'm walking.
That's what I'm saying. Like I need calories to burn, especially when I'm walking up 3 flights of stairs. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But no, it was
Don't invite me over to help you move. That's like
it's like the most exercise I've done since I stopped being able to breathe normally.
that's like getting invited to a party and having to decorate, invite, and open the door for everybody that comes in.
Yeah.
Like, wait. This wasn't part of it.
I'm gonna do the
come
drop because you can't hear it.
Ooh, all right.
Oh, we'll drop
Well,
it.
I'm glad someone's appreciating the knowledge I'm trying to
Someone's
drop on you
appreciating
today.
the knowledge I'm trying to drop on you today. Yeah.
Yeah, word.
Yeah. I mean, just that we're here. Just that we're here. That's why this is important.
So you moved.
Yeah.
Or
And then, yeah. I didn't move. I'm still here. This is the same set, in case y'all are new. But yeah, just that, and then for the most part, that's really it. Dinner with the fam tonight. The week was alright. It was a very long week at work. I'll explain more off camera type shit.
Okay.
But yeah, just a long week that led into a weekend of tiringness.
What was our shit back in the day? Long, short week? Short, long week? What were that? What was it again?
It was a long, short week, I think.
Long, short week.
Yeah.
Got you. Well, I think I had one of those recently, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And while we're on the old things, obviously shout out to Glenn.
Hey, opposite shout out to Glenn. For those who were used to follow, used to be, or were with us
The OG
way,
followers.
way back in the day.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't know, we've been doing this for a minute now. We ain't new to this. We true to this.
And there's some Glenn things to speak of, but I don't know how many people know about all the things, so I won't get into it yet. I'll check in with him before I break the news on the pod. But
Don't nobody follow Glenn.
obviously shout out to Glenn. Well, here's the thing. Me and Glenn went to grade school together. He obviously grew up with us. I don't know how many of the people from that
None of
time
them.
period watch.
We know that nobody supports. Anyway.
Oh, I was gonna say on the TikTok, that's what we should do too. Trying to get like a random stranger to
Yo, you
support
say
versus
TikTok
trying to get.
like an old person. On the TikTok. On the TikTok.
I am an old person
Yeah, but don't say it like you're that old.
on the interwebs.
Yeah, Adam will say he's not that old, but he is an old person at some points. Like,
Will Wayne say, "I'm an old soul and a young man." Pause. Wherever applicable there.
I'm sure that there's probably
There's gotta be.
Yeah, you didn't give the context around that.
Well, there's a song.
Should have given the
Anybody who knows who Wayne
what
is.
about the whole line? You should have just did it that way. That's what they said about the Coke back in the day. Should have just did that whole line, man.
Which, hey man, listen, I'm proud of me. I
Yo,
never did a line.
Being in the '80s had to be.
I didn't do no
pretty
bumps.
wild. Like to just be chilling there and somebody just gets to chopping up a little line.
This is the first I've gone with a bump in my life. You know what I mean?
Oh, I was like, "What you doing?"
We were talking about coke and bump.
Yeah.
You got to get with the program. I feel like I'm more with it than you, Mister. Oh, you're old and blah blah blah.
I didn't know what you were trying to do. Like I thought you were just like
said this is the
what
most
was
of
it?
a bump.
What do they call it? Pantomiming it? Like
Well, I mean, you right here, so why would I have to do that? Anyway, so yeah, that was what my life has been like. What about you for the last week?
last week's been cool. It was kind of a one of those weeks where it just dragged a little bit.
Luckily not the shittiest of weather since you're an outdoor worker.
It was decent. It got cold the last day on Friday night, but other than that, it was cool. Actually, I made a visit after 20 long years back to my high school, my alma mater, Lane Tech.
Okay.
It's different, man. It's different.
Different but the same.
Different but the same.
Another callback to one of
Different
our.
but the same. It was interesting. I went to help support some of the. First of all, it was alumni night, but also they were honoring a few of the basketball teams. The year my year graduating class 03, they had like a super great record, right? And they did something that hadn't been done for the school 20 years prior before, 20 years after.
Did anybody from that team go on to make a
No.
success out of their basketball careers?
No,
Oh.
no. But all can play in their own right.
I mean, they all old as shit now too. Like, shout out to your graduating class, but y'all are mad old.
We're a little older, but it was cool because I went to help support, and so a lot of them, my guys still I talk to. So we, I was there. I walked in that school, man, and it was just instantly crazy to feel like
nostalgia.
I haven't been in there in 20 years, but
Picturing yourself by your locker in the hallway and shit.
well, there's 4 floors. I didn't get to see my locker actually.
Oh, you didn't go to
My
that one.
lockers were on the 3rd floor. I didn't go up there. But beyond that, it was just interesting to be in there. It's cool to see a place that you used to walk through as a youngster. I think we talked about it a few times. So the name of our podcast is after the street we grew up on.
Right.
Now-
It used to be the intersection.
If you we changed that. But if you drive down the block that you grew up on, not just us, anybody out there, you're gonna for a second, no matter how short-lived or how vague or vivid that the image is in your head, you see yourself just kind of running down just a quick.
That's what I mean. It puts you in a time and place.
You remember? Oh man, I used to run these streets, and you can. At some point, you've run up and down where you were walking at that point.
And you're like, this block is mad short compared to what I thought.
Well, see, that wasn't the thing at Lane. Lane is
Right.
a fairly large high school.
Well, I mean, since you're talking about the
And,
neighborhood.
well, yeah, but like,
Because if you go down Kasson, everything looks small.
it does. It looks a lot smaller.
And it's obviously like it's the same size.
It's. But I think
You're just a little bigger is all.
It became pretty much. What's the word? After you see something for so long, it becomes just normal to you how small it was, like that street.
Yeah, that's why like you
And
keep-
now it seems small because it became larger as you grew
like
up.
if you don't see somebody for a year and you put on 20 pounds, that's a subtle
Like, you
20
got
pounds
fat,
to you.
bro.
But they're like, you put on some weight, I see.
Hell yeah. But if that wasn't the case with Lane. When I walked in, still big as fucking the biggest high school you can imagine. I would assume in the state. They say there's other ones, but nobody cares about those other ones. It's all about Lane Tech. Anyway,
Before you continue, I'm just thinking about this. Like I put some effort into getting some additional drops,
And I don't
and I
have
can't
headphones.
even. And you were the main person who complains, like, oh, you should get more drops.
Well,
blah,
I
blah,
didn't
blah.
say-
So until you get more headphones, I don't want to hear about it. And now, guess what, guys? You lose all the sound of the pod besides our voices.
yeah, blame me, I guess.
Yeah, it's worth it.
But it's interesting because it
Still got the
didn't
intro.
seem smaller, right? It seemed just as big.
That's what she said.
I mean, it's good, I guess.
That was
But
shot.
it was an interesting thing to be back in a place that I spent so much time in as a youngster. I always wanted to be on the basketball team. Still, like, one of my greatest regrets is never playing. I don't know why I never went and actually truly tried.
Well, Jay said the number one rule for your set is you got to learn to live with regrets.
Yeah, I know.
So now I have to give the entire context of the lines
There
that I
you go.
quote.
Appreciate that. But no, it is what it is. But like being there and just kind of like sitting on courtside, it was cool. They gave out some shirts and some alumni shit. There was some weird points where like the cheerleaders were giving like a performance like literally like two rows in front of us. We were just like, we're grown men, yo.
Oh,
Just
like
go
the
to-
cheerleaders of the school, like today? Oh, yeah.
But like we're just like, so I was just watching the score clock go down. I was like, that's something I should be watching. Like
This is not a college venue.
I was like,
if you're 18, 19, 20, that's different than if you're
yeah,
16,
it was like,
17,
yo,
18.
like take them over there or go home.
Don't y'all have like a pee-wee game to do
It
this
was
with
weird
or something? I don't
but
know.
it was other than that, it was cool. It was just like not that like whatever. It was just funny that like we're just sitting there talking and out of nowhere it goes. They play their music and you're just like they're tumbling in front of us. I was like, this is
Well, listen, not to get misogynistic about it, but like the cheerleaders in any given venue are supposed to be. They're kind of like entertainment for the males in the crowd.
No, there's
The
just
women aren't there to
halftime
watch you most of the time, like the majority of them.
Well, we're
So
at a
if
high
you-
school. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So if you
they
go back,
probably should be at that.
if you go back to a venue in which they're half your age, it's a little different. That's what
Yeah, and that's why I was just like, shouldn't they just be over there? Or over
Why
there?
are they here? They're not alumni.
Why'd you choose this bush to pee in? You could have used that bush or that
Just a
bush.
special bush.
But it was that. Other than that, like that was funny.
That
to
also
me.
sounds really bad out of context.
You used it.
No, but you started with the bush, and it's
Oh yeah, but you said it. In
just
more-
scrap that whole thing.
But no, I just thought that was pretty funny because I was just like, why would they send them here? But then the lane lost because they were pretty bad. Not gonna lie to you, that was that. It was interesting to be at a place like that. Like sit in there. They changed it because it was the Lane Tech Indians,
Right.
just like a lot of these other.
It's like the Cleveland Indians,
They had these Native American like based names or whatnot. So they took that out recently, last year or so, maybe a little bit more.
And unless the natives decided to buy a high school and name it, that's just racist.
And then they called it the Lane Tech Champions, which I got to be honest with
But
you.
you lost because you're not good.
Yeah,
so
you
can't
can't
be a champion.
like name yourself what you aren't.
So,
technically.
question then: is their theme song "We Are the Champions"? Because technically they are literally the champions, but not technically the champions.
No, that's not it.
Oh.
It's the school theme song.
Oh.
Rah rah shish kumbah. That's not it, but
Rah, shish kebab.
shish kebab.
Yo, on the quick topic of like foods, because shish kebabs usually have vegetables and meats, right? I would like to just say something to all of you avid, you should eat broccoli type of people, right? Suck my dick, okay? Don't you ever tell me again you need to be eating broccoli. And let me explain to you why.
Can I ask you what sparked this?
Yes, I'm going to get into it right now. I learned recently that broccoli is not a naturally occurring vegetable, all right? It's a man-made concoction like a Cocker Spaniel, you know?
How did you know that's a man-made? What are you getting at?
What I'm getting at is broccoli is a vegetable that they added that they didn't need to. You know what I mean? Okay, full disclosure. Joe Budden been putting all them Patreon episodes out, right? From like a year ago. Some of them were posted a year ago and shit. Were just like when him and Ish and I started like the second cast. And they started talking about this. And I think Ice, who's very close to my age, has very similar thought process in a lot of these things. And he was like,
I think Ice is my age.
no.
I think so.
Pretty positive he was like 33.
I'm fairly certain he's not.
I mean, we can check that up later on.
Also, I don't care about how old that old man.
Well,
that grown
you
man
you
is.
broke into the middle to be able to say that, so clearly it matters a little bit. What I'm saying is, broccoli is not real. Okay, seedless grapes, seedless watermelon, those aren't real as well. So people who are like, oh, you should eat broccoli. No, there's other things that nature made on its own. That clearly, anything that you have to make in a laboratory, you know what I mean? Don't tell me that. Oh,
All
you
right,
should
so now
eat
that
broccoli.
Adam's gotten his gripe out with broccoli,
I need an opposite.
I
drop
thought you were
for
gonna
the
say
one.
like it was unhealthy or something.
No, but it's not real, is what I'm saying.
You're not real, man.
People are trying to push broccoli on you like, oh, it's the healthiest thing you could eat. Nah, fuck you, man. It's not even real.
Okay, do you eat
Shit is
anything that
synthetic
Do you
as
eat
fuck.
any vegetables?
We've had a conversation about this like 97 times.
Well, tell me what
Yeah.
vegetables you eat
Man,
for the
listen.
new folks out there.
All right, so asparagus, carrots, most of like the green bean family.
Do you like peas?
I don't like them.
They're kind of mushy, but they're good.
I don't like them per se, but like, you know, moms put them in a meatloaf back in the day. Like, I'll eat them. You know what I mean? It's not something that I'm like, ugh, I spit them out when I get to them. But
Oh, peas!
nah, never that. Like, I'll eat them, but it's not something that I run to, you know? And I know people say, oh, corn and potatoes are starches. Nah, fuck it. Those are vegetables too, if they're classified officially. So those count.
Yeah, not really. I don't think that's true. Corn is really indigestible if you really think about it, because it always comes out whole.
Corn?
Dude, you ever,
I don't remember eating no
do you
corn.
ever eat corn and just be like, I'm thoroughly chewing the shit out of this corn right now. Like, I am definitely eating every kernel, right? So, you know what I think?
it has healing properties and it's just
Sometimes I play a little game, right? I make sure I chew every kernel that goes down. Like, just making sure every kernel, like everything, every piece of corn.
And then you just check out later on. Like,
And then when I poop, right? And
he called the shit poop.
if I look down and there's a whole corn in there, that's ridiculous.
Well, maybe you just missed one, you know?
No.
Because it's not like your entire shit is a corn on the cob.
No, I go like this.
Oh, Lord.
No.
Oh, Lord.
No, and then potatoes.
That's gonna be the next job,
Potatoes
too.
are just carbs like a
Rest in peace,
motherfucker.
Bernie.
Huh?
So that's going to be the next one, too. Oh, Lord.
Okay.
There's so many, like,
Well,
there's so many drops that could exist.
I'll leave that up to you.
And even him with the other one where he was like, "What's up, you squares?" I would like to have that as well. I need like 97 sound pads, and that's not even enough. But anyways,
Okay then.
so I interrupted your story. Is there more to your Lane Tech thing?
No, I just think it's pretty
Shout out
cool.
to the alumni crew,
If you haven't
you know?
gotten the chance to go back to your high school and you do get the opportunity after such a long time, it's interesting because it kind of is one of those.
Did you leave them with a dope beat to step to?
No,
You said it's been a long time.
I shouldn't have left you. No, I needed to leave them. If I didn't leave them, I'd be a demo.
No. That's why that
Did
whole
you tell me
sentence
some
is.
guy from your high school was still there like 2 years after?
But that's
you
why
were
that whole sentence is important. Because he said I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to. He didn't care about leaving
If
them.
you failed high school, right? Like if you failed senior year,
They call it a
a
demo.
demo, right? If you failed that, would you just go to another high school? Like, come on, now be honest. Would you be a second year senior in a place where everybody knew you were a first year senior and you didn't graduate?
Knowing what I know today, I would have dropped out junior year. Just got a GED.
No, I don't think I would have got it.
Same as shit, man. They don't give a
No,
flying
no.
fuck. Not a single person in my entire adult career has asked me, "Oh, can I see your high school diploma?" I don't really
Well,
believe your high
technically, you
school
can
diploma.
get my job with a GED too. Doesn't say much about my job, does it?
I mean, listen, I guess you also have the fact that like senior year as a high school student, not as a me today, as a high school
As of
student,
me today?
as a high school student in senior year, that's when all the women start to come into their own, and you don't want to miss out on that because you've been going to school with them for a few years, you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't leave
So,
because
like,
it's pretty fun.
The social aspect is nice.
Senior year is pretty fun.
Yeah, but like if I failed, I probably would bounce.
Yeah, I'm not gonna stay there. I mean, I'm definitely gonna just go get my GED.
Although, if you failed senior year and then did what you said, go to a different school, that opens you up to a different class of women that you didn't know were in the other.
Yeah, but regardless, I'm not staying in the same place. Everybody knows I'm a failure. Like,
Everybody knows that I suck here.
What
I
was that
can't
shit
stay.
in Forgetting Sarah Marshall? You sure you're not gonna be lonely? You want to eat by yourself? Like, no, there's no way I'm walking into high school. Can you imagine that having gone through senior year with all of your friends, right? And then at the end finding out you fail, and they all move on and do things, and you're the only idiot stuck at school in class just doing nothing.
I'll keep the name out of it, right? But like, yeah, what I was telling him, audience, is that my little brother and my little sister both went to school and graduated after I did. I finished in the standard
Because
4 years.
they were younger than him.
We all finished in the standard.
As things usually dictate, high school, usually the oldest person.
You would think so,
graduates.
but wait till I get to my point, okay? So we finished in the standard 4 years, all of us. We're not all the smartest of people in the world, but we're smart enough to get through high school in 4 years. So I went there to pick up my sister, or some shit I don't remember. It was a long time ago at this point. And one of the crew who was a senior with us.
Why are you telling this like you're scared?
He happened to still be a student
of this
there
guy?
at the time. No.
Then why are you telling it like
tiny
you're
little dude.
Telling him like
he was my boy at the
telling
time.
it like you little bitch. That's what you sound like. He was
As
like,
a-
and then this guy,
that drive? He's like, you wasn't
went
sounding
to
like
high-
that. Can you sound the way you were sounding when you?
he went to high school with me, and
No. I mean, hey, as I tried to
why were you
explain
saying-
to you.
I could hear. But see, behind the twinkle in your eye, I can see the bitch in you.
First of all, check yourself. All right. Challenge your mind. I was watching a clip with old wrestling and shit, and Triple H called Stone Cold a pussy. He was about to walk into the back, and he was like, "What?" He wasn't having that. But no. So remember I told you we tried to
Oh, I missed those.
to get better at articulating ourselves here. So I want to go at a pace where I can get all of the words out in a way that makes sense.
Go.
And going slower,
Go,
talking about this
shawty.
thing, But anyway, 2 years post my graduation, homeboy still in there, doing his learning thing. And I was like,
Was he doing his learning thing?
I
at
don't
that
think he was
point?
doing his learning thing before that. So I don't
So
know.
he had to be learning. So you're saying that he learned his lesson?
I'm
and he was
saying
starting
that
to learn now.
he stayed. He failed and stayed, is what I'm saying. So my high school where I graduated, because I've gone to 3, so the one that I graduated from, 3 and 4 years. Look at that shit, man. It's crazy.
So technically, if you really wanted to think about what we're talking about, how we would leave a school, Adam might have been a demo 3 times.
Nah, I had circumstances that forced
What,
me
you
out.
just saying that you couldn't pass senior year? What, you stupid?
Nah, man, I had circumstances that forced me out. Like we moved from my neighborhood, man. Fuck, that's number one. And then the second one,
Adam got chased out like a little bitch.
I whooped Debo ass. He's supposed to be the one leaving. But anyway, yeah. So that's what happened there. So just don't be that guy, I did the bare minimum and passed. Just do the bare minimum is all you really got to do.
All I know is D is for degree.
C's get degrees.
I'm not very proud about how I went about academia.
I think technically, if you added up all of your semesters, it was more than the 4 years.
You talking about for like summer school and shit like that?
Like night school.
Well, I finished. Listen, we're not talking about that. You got to do what you got to do.
Mexican Americans, like education.
You got to do what you got to do to survive, right? You got to do what you got to do to survive. I went and I handled my business like a man. Not the first time, but the second time. But it still wasn't a thing that made me have to graduate a year later like some sort of dunce cap wearing.
But it very easily could have been
goofy-
that. Imagine if high school didn't offer night school and summer school. That'd be fucked up. A lot of people would be fucking demos.
Everybody would be demos, I
No,
think.
not me.
Well, nobody cares about you, really. That's why you went
That's
to 3
fucked
high
up. You're my
schools.
brother, man.
That's why you went to 3
My
high
brother, man.
That's why you went to 3 high schools. Stupid.
No. I told you I was.
Every
I was,
high school you went to, they just didn't like
I was chased out of my neighborhood by my parents. They're like, "Yo, we got to get up out of here." I said, "No, man, don't do that to me." Do you care at all that Kanye West is now a second marriage man?
That's how you're gonna call it. That's how you're gonna say that.
I don't really care. I'm not
Married
going to
for the
speak.
second
I don't
time?
want to speak on him with
A
enthusiasm.
second marriage man.
Yes,
All right. Well, since I know what you're talking about,
he's a 2 marriage man,
man, you're saying it wrong.
2 marriage guy. I'm not a one guy.
You're not saying that right at all. No, I don't.
He's
To
not
answer
a
your question.
He's not a one girl guy.
He keeps marrying chicks that look like Kim. This is what's funny to
In
me.
fairness-
Or not marrying, getting with.
In all fairness, Kim is bad. So I mean,
Kim is bad, but-
at least not like.
But I mean, if there was ever an obvious shout for help or cry for help,
I don't know why you're getting married.
or like
Clearly he
like
didn't
what do they
lose.
do? What do they
You think
call
there's
it
a money
when
play?
you do a something for attention? Like a,
You cry for help. Man.
I guess, yeah.
Do you think there's like a money play for him?
Kim.
You think he's like? Do you think he's like? Oh shit! My net worth fell 66%. Let me find a woman who she was a Yeezy designer. This girl.
Let me tell you, if my net worth fell 56%, I'd be trying to find somebody to fund my life too.
My net worth is not enough to fall 66%.
There
but
isn't, there isn't enough room for that. Like,
But
you
I would
fall
still-
56%.
but I would still
owe
like to
people
find-
a lot of money.
But I would still like to find me a sugar mama. You know,
Hey man, do your thing. Try to see if
applications
they-
open
maybe
now.
they can fund the pod.
You know what I mean?
Anyway, do me a favor. Tell me about a time that your breath, or you felt that your breath stunk, but you couldn't tell for certain. How did you test that? What did you do when you were like, "Oh, is that me?"
Because like this whole that thing does not
That
work.
doesn't work.
You just smell whatever you smell.
I heard you
Your
go
hand
like,
smells
I heard
like-
you go, and it just, or like you can go like this, and I think that works too, right? If you breathe up into your nose, because it makes sense, right? Like you're breathing your breath straight into your nostrils.
Like when you hit the beat and you like inhale it through your nose.
Yeah,
through
but
your mouth.
but I don't know. What I'm asking is the other way. Like, how did you gauge it? And do you think you were successful, or do you think that sometimes you feel like your breath stinks, but it doesn't?
Probably. It's hard to tell, man. It's like one of the, like we said before. Like
Somebody's got to tell me.
there's if I was rich, I would hire somebody for that. Like, yo, how my breath?
Check out my breath real quick. Is it good? Be like, yeah, that's good.
Well, motherfuckers used to use what, that Banaka.
Banaka.
That shit will burn like every part of
The
your
back
throat.
of your
to
throat
esophagus.
is scorched by this fucking.
If you use
acid.
Banaka at any point in your life, your tonsils right now they're like plotting their
Your
death.
tonsil game is fucked up. So yeah, tell me about that situation. What did you do? Like, what do you do?
Do you
in
need
a
like a
situation-
specific one?
You ever had like a day where you like somehow, some way you just
It's always when
you
you're talking
stunk
to a
early,
woman.
like for not early, but like you just stunk. Right, you took a shower, maybe like you were a little unfresh for some reason. Like maybe something happened where you sweat early.
Excuse me, somebody's not zestfully clean this
That's
morning.
really great. No, this doesn't happen to me, to be honest with you. But what I'm saying, like,
mean, come on,
not,
man.
not like at
Make
10
up some
a.m.
shit. Say that it happens to you for the pod.
No, not for the pod.
Take this shit to the next
I'm
level.
fairly hygienic.
Take this shit to the next level, Holmes.
How do you spray your cologne? We've talked about this,
Yeah,
right?
we
You
talked
told me you
about that.
spray it in your hair.
No. That's not what I said.
And I went,
It's not what I said at all.
sprays it like a girl.
Nah, sprayed it in my hand and then through
I
my
watched
hair.
Vivi spray perfume one day, and I thought that the bottle was empty by the time she did it.
Well, what happens is women spray it and then they do their Tasmanian devil spin through it, spitting and shit the entire way. I mean, listen, y'all smell beautiful, so it ain't an issue for me. It's just y'all definitely do things a little bit differently than the men.
Speaking of how women do things differently than a man,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because women's OnlyFans are really the only lucrative OnlyFans. I don't see men's OnlyFans being that lucrative.
I think
Right.
it depends, right?
If it was,
let's say,
if it was, I want to be clear that I would definitely be on there.
let's say,
Please tell me how much.
there
you're
are
willing to pay.
exceptions to every rule, right? Like, let's say that in a world where hypothetically R. Kelly wasn't the creepiest person of all time, all the women, all the old ladies at his shows would be like, "Oh my God, Robert!" Like they would be subscribers.
Do you have your passport? Do you want to come to America with Rob? Remember
Whatever
that?
happened to mail order brides?
Mail order brides.
Remember that used to be a thing.
To me, that's not named correctly. To me, that would mean
It's like
that you're-
importing prostitutes.
To me, that sounds like you're a bride's coming. That's a male. Mail order brides.
Well, mail is spelled two different ways.
Or males order brides, and that's a whole nother thing.
Well, that's kind of what it is.
Isn't that weird? You come with like a package, like they gotta like take
They ship them in a box.
like a crate. You gotta pop the.
I
Crate
just read
open.
some shit like that where they said back like early days of like shipping import export type shit. If you wanted to send your kid on a trip, maybe they had like grandparents in a different state.
Just put them in a bag.
Motherfucking parents would literally do that. They would ship their kids in like cargo containers or like small crates and shit. They would ship them that way.
No,
I swear for God.
I don't think that's true.
I read it, man. Listen,
I don't think that they were stuffing
believe
their
it
kids in
because
cages.
I believe it because I think parents are stupid today.
Listen,
And did that shit.
firstly, I want to say it right here.
Like,
right
remember
now.
back when the middle-
There's nothing worse than being on a plane and a child is crying, like near you, right next to you, even in the same plane.
There are definitely things that's worse, but that sucks for sure.
On a plane?
Yeah.
All right, I'm not talking about like the obvious worsts, right? Plane going down, all that. We're talking about like inconveniences that.
Like, I'd say further than that, like if a kid took a shit on that plane and then, nobody got
I think we should be able to
take
beat
care
the
of that.
parents' ass if that happens. Like, you weren't prepared for this. You brought this little disease motherfucking carrying, coughing, sneezing, pooping, crying thing.
You again called the shit poop. I'm going to get that job as well.
Well, pooping. Poop is
He
hilarious.
called the shit poop.
But like, listen. I've sat next to a baby on a plane that wasn't nowhere near anything of a relative to me, right? And it's hit me while I've been asleep. I was like, listen, man, I can't hit that baby, but I will hit you, and then maybe hit the baby.
You want to talk about Odell Beckham and his situation?
So we keep bouncing around.
Yeah, man.
But,
I think we give him like a couple
how-
minutes for each thing so we can get some clips.
How long we been going?
Half an hour.
Okay. Okay, so when I first heard about it, I was like, "What did he get thrown off the? What kind of racist fucking world is this?" Right? I was like,
Motherfuckers can't sit on a plane.
"Why can't they just let ODB be? Odell Beckham? Yeah, right.
Old dirty bastard.
Odell Beckham,
Yeah. But ODB is historically referred to.
same thing. Anyway, why can't they just let this man be? Right?
Oh,
And then I read that he was being belligerent and had no pants on.
Initially, when I first heard it, he was.
I was like, "Yeah, no pants on."
when I first heard it, initially he was asleep, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna come kick you about the seat."
"Really?
That's what I heard initially.
Did he have any pants on?"
But that was before like
What-
video footage came out.
Oh, did you? I didn't watch the footage. Did you watch the
I
footage?
watched part of it. I didn't.
Did he have no pants on?
I didn't see him without pants.
They said he was pantsless.
Likelihood is, if I saw a video and he was pantsless, I'm just gonna move along,
No, I don't blame you,
moving right along.
but I'm just wondering if that was a thing. And like, how do you get there? That's what the question is really.
And he didn't look like it was in first class. I'm sorry, but once I hit a certain point of income, I am not going to be riding with the peasants. I am currently one of those peasants, so I can speak on them. You know?
Yo, dude, I'm telling you, if you don't get your fucking passport, I'm just so
Listen,
y'all
let me
know,
tell you something.
March.
My time frame for getting a
sometime in
passport.
March, I'm going on vacation.
My time frame for a passport is about the same as yours for some headphones.
No, didn't you send it in though?
Get you some headphones.
Didn't you send your documents?
I got the documents prepared to send.
I thought the worst. All right, well, I guess that's
It's
not gonna
expensive.
happen. I know, but so was missing vacation after vacation.
Nah, those are also expensive.
We going to Tulum.
Yeah, trust me. Listen, I'm trying to go and vacation.
Well, you need to put them documents.
There's too many things to spend money on. I don't have it. Subscribe to our Patreon.
help.
Lord, if you can hear me, help.
So I don't know. I had said something. Iggy Azalea, OnlyFans. Now, I don't subscribe to OnlyFans. Matter of fact, see, what I'm worried about really about OnlyFans is that from what I gather or what I've heard about OnlyFans
They
is
be
that
playing you, man.
a lot of the
Same
time
shit they post on
put, Yeah, they
Instagram.
put the same pictures, right? So what they do is they'll
gotta
put
go to
they'll put a
reviews.
picture like this,
You know what they should
like
do?
this on Instagram,
And it's not
then-
even like a nipple poking through the
And
fingers.
then when they give you the one on OnlyFans, they take their hands off and it's just clothes that they're covering.
What the fuck? Why even do that then?
She said though that it's supposed to be like really uncensored shit.
That's what I'm talking about. 'Cause she got a big old booty. I
Yeah,
know it's
I'm
probably a fake booty, but still nice.
It was done okay.
Yeah.
You know, you ever see those girls that look like somebody just like stuffed like some fucking collagen in their hips? Like, you didn't look like that yesterday.
Back to the Stone Cold WWF clips. He once told Stephanie McMahon, he's like, "There's more foam in that bra than one of my beers."
Yo, I miss the toxic WWE
Stone Cold
days.
was the greatest, and yeah, that's what got me down that rabbit hole. I was like looking for Stone Cold and The Rock together, whenever they do
Those
the
are always
promos
fun
and
to
shit.
watch.
And then I got to the part where Rikishi ran over Stone Cold with the car, And
yeah.
it was just like a drama for like weeks to follow.
Dude, there
and
was so
Mankind
much of
was
that.
the commissioner, and it was so much. That was I'm in the middle of that
Okay.
set of things right now.
I listen. I really do miss those days of wrestling. I haven't really been able to get into it in the last couple decades. To be honest,
I haven't even
Because
tried, honestly. I tried like a year ago. I put on like a SmackDown or some shit, and I was like,
I guess you can't really call us true fans, maybe in that regard. But
Well, no, because
we're true fans of a specific era.
it's different now. It's different. In our defense, they
Is it
when the
our
company
or our? Because I always struggle with that.
I'm gonna say R because our has an H in front of it historically,
Yeah, but R is ARE
or OUR.
unless you don't
And
pronounce it that
fuck
way.
the English language, yo. There's too many different ins and outs. Anyway, people learn English pretty well, and I have a hard time with other languages just because the conjugations, and I guess that's our version of that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, so they made the company public, right? So it used to be a private company. That's why they'd be on USA with the most raunchy shit. They fucking have people in the audience with signs
Because
that
they
are going
didn't have
crazy.
nobody could regulate them in that
Yeah,
way.
so now they're regulated because they're public and they have stockholders and da 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 da. So they had to tone down. Basically, like there's a lot of controversy with it with the superstars from that day, that time period.
Because they went to PG, like essentially.
Yeah, like
I don't know if it's PG-13 or PG.
they took a lot of the theatrics out of it.
See, I like.
They had to tone down for their audience because
You mean like the conflict outside of the ring?
yeah, like that type of shit.
Yeah.
Like a lot of just that, like you
'Cause
can never have Undertaker kidnapping Stephanie McMahon and
Putting
you know,
together some sort of like
seance or some weird shit.
seance, fucking put it like
Yo, for record, that's one of my favorite
sacrifice.
fucking Stone Cold moments.
Dude.
He came out there and fucked that whole Ministry of Darkness up.
That was the thing about that. I don't know how it operates now. I don't know if there's sagas or mini dramas behind
There
the
is
scenes.
to some degree, but
do
like,
they last or is they extensive?
it's not
Are
the same
they
way.
As a production filled as they used to be.
They definitely have like their feuds type of shit, but like the storyline back in the day would be more we have our little beef or whatever it is, and is always on site in the ring, like
Yeah.
motherfuckers at any given time. I don't think the way it is now, like how Stone Cold would run out in the middle of a match and come and just fuck people. I don't think it's like that.
I
to
want
the same
to
degree.
so like that. I want to say that you, as much as he's been canceled, even though he's come back in the last couple of days or last week or so, Vince McMahon, you got to give him a lot
they're
of
selling
credit.
the company now.
Yeah, but giving him a lot of credit. They're saying that Saudi bought it. Dude,
Those motherfuckers.
did you see how much they? All right, we'll get there in a second. But first, let's talk about this. So he had to come up. There was a lot of marketing genius that went behind what went before.
Yeah.
Like they would do all these things that come up to SummerSlam, WrestleMania, whatever. I forget all the other events, but they would find ways to build hype for those events. And a lot of these storylines that would go on for fucking weeks at a time. Remember, like,
They did a good job
remember
of,
when
like-
Stone Cold became commissioner.
Yeah.
Right? And then when Linda McMahon and Stephanie gave him, and he was out on the stage just telling the whole commission what they had to deal with, and they were all mad, like those type of, and that went on for weeks, where Stone Cold kept fucking with everybody.
Well, he did. Vince, to your point, his credit is really like in character development, where if you introduce somebody new as a heel, first of all, I was listening to who said it? I think it was Kurt Angle. Like he had some appearance that he did on a podcast, and you get like one shot. Like you get out there and you go and kill it, or you're pretty much like you're not really gonna stick around here. Like your ability
It's
to
that,
kind of
you get one chance,
Yeah.
one shot, one opportunity. His
you
palms are
capture
sweaty,
it? Or
knees
slip,
weak,
slip?
arms are heavy. There's vomit on his bed.
It's kind of that.
Mom's
Or at least it
spaghetti.
was
He's
kind of
nervous,
that,
but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one who doesn't like Eminem.
But I'm on record discussing how I
all right,
like
it
old
doesn't
M.
matter. Whatever.
Fuckers. New M is not so entertaining.
But yeah, no, they like developing the heel, which is for those of you who don't know, it's like the bad guy, the
Right, and then
provocateur.
then
you
the good guy is the baby face, they call it.
yeah.
Not to be confused with Kenneth, baby face Edmonds.
But yeah, so I don't know. It was a different feeling, and of course, obviously, it had to be because now
It
Now there's
literally,
more
it drew
public
you in.
interest in it.
I don't know. I watching it now. It seems less. What's the word I want to? I'm
Exciting,
looking for.
man. It's less exciting. Let's just say it.
Yeah, but
it's not
even
the same
even
feeling
like
it used to
when
be.
you look at on TV the stadiums.
There's a reason why the Attitude Era was the way they used to describe that time period.
Yeah,
you know?
it was just different, and we come from a different time where that was something we enjoyed watching. Now these little, pussies that are out here crying about everything and anything they can. Oh, they said he can't say that on TV. He can't call him that. Oh,
Well, that's the thing, dude. It used to
Shut
like
the fuck
a lot
up.
of the words
I'm getting really close to just going hard on all these fucking cancel culture motherfuckers.
a lot of the words that are that's what I'm saying. A lot of the words that are cancelable today.
You could. There are many of them.
They used all of them.
Every one of them.
They were insulting, and then they
Stone
the dumb thing
Cold
was
gave her a stunner. He can't stun that girl.
then what's his name? Jr. Not Jr.
The King.
Yeah. That was Jr. Right? No, he's Jerry the King Lawler.
and Jr.
He's the
and good old Jr.
Whenever Trish was out there, he's like, "Oh, the puppies."
Yeah, puppies. If you didn't know, we're
Titties.
But no, I think you're right.
It's so easy to fall down the wrestling rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Man.
So for me, it doesn't have the same allure as it once did. That could be for the reason that I am no longer the age.
They geared it more towards like a league.
Maybe
now.
I'm not of that more impressionable age as I was back then, where this was so exciting and
Nah, it's not even that, because now I swear you go back and watch that shit, and obviously there's a lot of nostalgia behind it. But you go back and watch those things, and it's like it's still just as exciting.
Well, that's
fills you with a little
that's only
anxiety when
because we
certain people are
remember-
fighting and shit. Like
That's 'cause we
I forgot
remember-
what the outcome of this match is, but I hope he wins. Like
I mean, yeah, and you still, though, even if you know the outcome, you still want the thing to happen that you wish would have happened back then happen again.
and what's dope about
happen now.
today with like YouTube and all that shit is a lot of we never really.
Oh my god, he's in it. Listen,
We never had pay-per-views.
This is ridiculous. Can't do it because all these foot fucking fetish freaks.
Yeah, they love when you do that shit.
Try saying that a lot. Foot fucking fetish freaks.
Like we never really had
$1,000 for a pair of socks right now.
the SummerSlams, WrestleManias, all that shit. We never really had access to them back in the day. Like Pops was not trying to order that shit.
No.
So now YouTube, we can go back and watch some of those matches that we missed, and like get the missing link of the story that we didn't have from like Monday Raw to
Because it used to shut off.
Yeah.
Remember, it used to shut off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's just something to it that it's missing. And not to say that it can't be as magical for who's the kids that are watching it now.
Yeah.
Because they grew up in a different era. So this era is what they know.
Hate this era.
I mean, we're just not the target audience anymore. There's a guy I went to high school with. I forget what his I think his name is the El Gringo, Crazy Gringo Loco. But
He's in wrestling.
yeah, but he's been
He's like Nacho Libre.
kind of, but like he's wrestled in Mexico, but he seems to be popping a little bit further now. His name's Charles, right? And just want to say that's pretty dope that if you look at his socials now, he was just in Tokyo wrestling. He's done a lot of different events, and when he shows the venues, they look like they're getting larger and larger, which is cool because we know that it takes a lot to get to that point. Yeah. Because it's not very easy to get signed by these.
Well, they started doing that.
Even though
series.
there's different leagues now.
They started doing that series to like follow the.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if they even still have that.
You know, it's all changed a lot because the business aspect just gets in the way of a lot of it.
It does, and I mean, if everything was if nothing had changed, that would be. I guess that's too much to ask. Things just going to change, and you know, unfortunately, political correctness.
Okay, it made that era what it was.
Another meaning. It's no longer political correct.
It makes those eras what they were.
Yeah,
you know, because now you go back and there's nothing like that today. You can't find the same. You're not gonna get the same feeling.
Do you think people who watch wrestling now be like, oh, you're all you old guys talking about how it used to be back in the day? Do you think that they dispute? Because you can watch it and see.
I feel like they can. You can't even say that today. There's like because wrestling today and of course we're talking from our perspective as viewers from them, but I don't think there's any comparison. Like
I feel like the characters are shallow. They're not very. You don't have much.
There's no depth
to grasp.
Yeah.
to let that
But you can tell-
character
you can tell
resonate
how it
with
is.
you. Because that's what it was. Not that I was stone cold in any way, but I felt like,
It made you feel like you can go whoop somebody's ass after you watch one
like,
of
I
his
go
matches.
stun this motherfucker real quick. Got this.
And the
You ever made the mistake in a street fight where you're just like, all right, that's it, fuck it. Oh, I got an idea. And you kick him in the balls, right? And you go to stun him, and then they shoot you. No, I'm just like,
No, I haven't had that happen. But like you can tell, like the Undertaker had a mystique about him that like even though Stone Cold, you knew like tough as SOB WWF as his thing was, there was just like an evil darkness about him and Kane that just like it felt like they're gonna come out here and fuck shit up, and it's like
Yeah.
I don't want to see them lose. But then I don't know. But then you also had your like as much as we were like huge Stone Cold fans. The Undertaker has his following that you know like he's the
there is a
dead man,
large
you know?
portion of, I would say WWF, WWE, but that era specifically.
Before it
fans-
was WWE, that's what fucked it up.
Fans.
The World Wildlife Fund.
Well, yeah. But what I'm saying is, I don't know. I would say it's more focused on those types of fans for that era.
Yeah.
That highly regard Undertaker as the best, or the GOAT.
Yeah.
The greatest of all time, obviously. GOAT.
Thank you for breaking that down for us.
There's 3 different ways to say it.
But I'll tell you, a large part, and we can kind of circle around back to the Iggy topic a little bit from here. There's an old girl, I forgot what her name is, who was from today's League of Wrestling, and she was posting on her own site some lewd content.
You got fired?
They fired her for it.
I bet you she's making more money now.
Probably, and she look good, you know. But see, that's like
I'd show my ass if I was a girl on OnlyFans.
I was
But
gonna,
for now, you guys can also pay for any kind of socks you would like. I don't care. I've decided that my socks are up for grabs. If you weirdos want to buy these socks, I'm gonna ask for an abnormal amount of money for it. You ain't gonna be able to get it like, you know how you could buy a pack of 6 for like $19.99. You might could get one sweaty sock for $2,000.
I was thinking about this the other day. It's the difference between.
I will do that.
There's a
I
difference
have
between buying Hanes.
This much same.
There's a difference between buying Hanes and getting like some upper echelon socks. You can get 6 if you buy Hanes because you're gonna need 6, and they're not gonna last that. You're gonna get 3-4 wears out of them, and get a small hole in the pinky toe.
You know what I've been buying is the socks from Target, the Goodfellow joints, the white ones. Those are pretty good. They last whatever. You toss them after
You got some bombas.
6 months or so. But I have I was at Target once buying whatever, and I went to the sock section, and they had stance socks, right? And they're usually two
It's a
Two to a
NBA
pack.
sponsor.
to a pack for $19.99. For some reason, the pack I found was $4.99 for 2. So I'm actually wearing the pair right now. Okay, and
It's a decent price, right?
dude,
there. Can't
they're
get
very
mad.
comfortable. The problem is
The socks and boxer prices are outrageous.
The problem is there was a white pair and there's a gray pair, right? The white pair, the one, I can't find its mate. I don't know.
Looks like the other
Have you
the
seen
shoe, but the opposite.
Have you seen this a shoe that looks like this one? It's pretty much the same, but the opposite.
All right, listen, almost time to go to break, but real fast, right? And I want to preface this, by, just because we're talking about like the women OnlyFans being the more popular.
Not only talking about women's OnlyFans, we're talking about the fact that I will put my socks.
We're talking about the fact that women's OnlyFans are the most successful because they're women, and it's just
Trying
nobody
go-
wants to look at.
Trying to
dudes.
go on a trip, man. Some of them places in Tulum don't be cheap.
But like, it's the problem I have with podcasting in a way.
2 for $2,500.
I've watched some of the and no disrespect to women, y'all out there grinding, doing your thing, love it, success to everybody. Okay, but some of the successful women-led podcasts are largely because men are simple-minded fucks and also simps. I don't know. That's what I imagine simp to mean.
I hate that word.
Simple-minded fuck. I agree, but
Can we just talk about the words we
no,
hate
not
from
yet.
now?
Because
It's giving. I will give you
that's
a
women.
black
That's
eye.
women lingo. We leave it for them.
I fucking hate that. It's
But listen,
giving.
man.
giving.
Some of the content isn't the greatest, but you are nice to look at, right? And so men are gonna subscribe, and it's just automatically how you're gonna grow your following. Men just don't have that luxury in the podcast game or many other arenas. If it's something where you look at us on screen and we're not doing something that requires skill, just talking, if we don't look the prettiest in
Shit,
the
speak
eyes
for
of
yourself.
well, I mean, listen, they've
I'm
subscribed.
pretty, bitch.
They've subscribed and told us like, oh, there's 2 good-looking men in nice shoes. Blah, 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 blah. So,
Dude,
When you
did
take your
see
shoe
the
off
last
and you
guy-
scratch
did you see
your
the
heel?
comment from last week? The dude said, "I don't know if you
Somebody-
guys know this, but if you would probably gain a lot more subscribers if you were to take your shoes off and then on and off again." And I didn't respond to that because I felt like violated a little bit.
There's definitely, I'll tell you, to their
How
credit,
you gonna? I can't allow you guys to talk so spicy to me without
Well,
breaking me off with a little bit of money.
to their credit,
like
to
if
their
you're gonna
credit.
talk about my feet, we gonna get some money
the foot guys
that.
epitomize. There's no shame in my game.
They do.
They
do
will
not
tell
care.
you specifically what they
Hey,
want.
dude, I like to see your shoes off and then on again, and then off and then on
Listen,
again.
my request to you,
Fucking weird.
shoe loving,
It's gross.
foot loving people, watch, right? But like, get a female friend or two, point them in this direction. Be like, oh,
Yeah,
yo,
if you got some,
because if there's women who are like, oh yeah, like your feet get me horny, that's better than a dude telling me that. Sorry, just is what it is. If you're into that, you do you. But
somebody's watching
no.
this right now, doing things to themselves
told
as
you
you
this.
say them to tell them not to do that.
Let's go to break.
All right.
It's like body soreness, you know.
I do. All too well.
Better make
Oh,
sure
too
you don't stretch like that during recordings.
Oh, look at his stomach.
They'll be like, "Oh, he got a
Can't-
landing strip below his belly button." You're gonna have a whole new group of freaks trying to hit your DMs. I'm gonna I'm gonna try to make sure that we put this our Instagram tags when because you see how intro things like when the pod starts, there's like the logo whatever, and then it fades into us talking.
Yeah.
Okay, so like when we hit the screen initially, I want to just have our @ underneath, you know?
Okay.
So that this way, when they want to like comment on the pod because you're like, oh yeah, he took his foot out and itched it, they can just hit you straight on the
Directly?
DM.
Give me a DM influx of bullshit.
I feel like it'd be just very entertaining to discuss the DMs that we get pertaining to the pod. We don't get
none.
any now.
I've literally, well, actually, we used to, but even those guys have stopped. I think
I don't know what happened to water on
I
Mars,
think
man.
he was one.
disappeared.
I'm gonna be honest.
Apparently, he learned there's no water on Mars.
Maybe he was like one of the shoe people, and we like offended him.
I don't know, man. I hate
Because
to
I
think
haven't
that's
gotten.
true,
I
but
mean, I
it's
promise.
possible.
He hadn't hit me on IG at all. He hasn't like liked or commented. It's interesting.
What happened, man?
We used to be cool, man.
China's still cool. You pay it later. Do you think he was one of the people who unsubscribed? He's like, oh, they're getting close to 300. 298.
Oh man, that would be bullshit.
Don't do that to us, man.
What happened, Water?
Don't even do that. We're clearly back, by the way. I just randomly
Talking.
started just getting into some nonsense because that's what we do the best.
Yeah.
Seinfeld, the podcast here. And no, Joe Budden. Y'all can't just say this is your sign. You took that from us. Damn it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it'll seem like we took it from you.
Well, there's that's the beautiful thing about recordings and then like postings.
Nobody cares.
Timeline.
Nobody
Yeah, but if
cares.
somebody was really like, oh, we did it first.
Dude, we live in a world where you could literally show somebody proof of the exact opposite of what they're telling you.
Just
and
like
they
as we were
will
saying last week with Ray J.
completely negate and ignore those things.
Just like
no.
just like what we were saying last week with Ray J. All right, I hit it first. We hit the Seinfeld, the podcast button first. It was us.
It is what it is. I mean, I think
Pioneers.
you should probably get some Jerry Seinfeld drops then.
I don't want to be a pirate. I want to have that one.
Yes.
No soup for you.
So you know what I was thinking about this week is, you know when you like, for instance,
What was on your mind this week?
do you know when, let's say you pour a cup of coffee, right?
Every day.
You know when you pour that cup of coffee and then now you pour a little creamer in there, right? Now you know when you pour the
Well, not everybody's familiar with that. Some people like the powdered creamer, which is going to give you a heart attack one day.
yeah,
so I hate
that's,
to tell you.
I seen a video of people lighting that shit on fire as they were pouring it out of as they poured
Shit
it
is
out.
gunpowder
Shit's nuts. That's
in your lungs. Was those commercial? That's metal in your lungs.
oh, dude, that's fucked up.
Try to kill all
But,
the smokers.
So you know when you pour the creamer into the coffee, you pour a good amount, and you're like, okay.
There's a balance.
But there's something about I'm not talking about the particular amount. You pour the amount.
Well, you said a
pour.
good amount.
You pour the amount that you pour. Whatever you pour, the
I don't want
majority
it to
of
turn
the
into
pour,
like just cream in the coffee.
the majority of the pour happens in that first one.
Right.
But you ever close it and then think about it and then just pour like a little bit more? But you pour such a small amount, right? You just go, and then you close it again. Like that small extra, was really gonna make a difference.
It's important. Listen, I do it after I stir it, right? Because I can tell like there's like a certain tone for the coffee that I'm looking for. If it's too dark, I know this is gonna be too bitter for me, and it's not gonna. The creamer just might as well go to waste. Like I might as well not use it. And then if it's too light, it's like when Starbucks charges you $9 for a drink and they give you half a cup of creamer.
I'm talking about that.
There's a fine line, and sometimes that little extra like. It's important, man. All the coffee drinkers out there gonna understand this.
I'm talking about that fractional, that small amount.
But
that
every
even,
addition,
even in the coffee, it doesn't even make a difference in lighter or darker.
But every
it's
addition
just like
of it changes the taste.
Just a little dollop of it.
Every little bit of it changes the taste. I think dollop can only be used for Daisy sour cream. But
really, you can't give a dollop of.
I think
creamer?
that term is now theirs.
Well, what do you call it when you put a little bit of a liquid in a drink?
Just a dash, you know.
A dash?
Yeah.
No, I think that's used for salt and pepper.
No, Mrs. Dash. But I think it's just
that's
dash.
completely different in general.
Just a pinch.
No, a pinch and a dash are the same.
drop.
Are the same thing.
Just a drop.
No, because a drop. No,
Why do you have so many?
I think dollop. I think dollop is the way to go.
I don't think it is, man.
I added a dollop of creamer to the coffee. Yeah, that sounds right.
But it's a dollop of Daisy. Daisy sour
Are you
cream.
speaking in code?
A dollop of Daisy is
You're talking about like
Daisy
you're talking
sour
like
cream, man.
Doc Holliday.
There's a whole commercial that they use the term, and no
You're
other
literally
workplace.
talking like Doc Holliday from Tombstone right now. You're a daisy if you do. Like what?
No,
You've seen that movie, right?
yeah, but that's not what I'm saying.
We watched it last night.
Found it on Disney Plus.
So you take too long to text back. So me and Vivi were at the crib.
Don't ask me things after 10 o'clock. I'm not paying that much attention.
Old as fuck. Adam be talking about.
I didn't say I was asleep. I just said I wasn't paying attention.
Adam had his phone off.
Mind you, I've got a war in that room. All right.
Yeah, all
I'll
right.
be getting
Anyway,
busy with
so
Kratos
listen.
getting his little soft ass whooped.
So I hit Adam.
Kratos died so easy in that game.
I had that was my same beef with the last God of War. We
God
can
of
talk
War
about
my
God of War in a
ass.
second.
Like a martyr of war.
It's like the amateur of war, fucking dying all the time. So, damn, where was I at?
Dollops and the Tombstone and
Yeah. Oh, so me and Vivi we sit down. It's like 10 o'clock. I'm like, yo, let's watch Tombstone because I had just talked to her about it. She's a Val Kilmer fan, as most people are. And I went to go look, and I looked on HBO Max. Surprisingly, wasn't there.
Yep.
I looked on Netflix. Definitely wasn't on there. I looked on Hulu. Hulu wasn't there. It was at this point that I started to think about how much do I actually
why do you do
pay?
things that way? Let me explain. Let me give you a shortcut. Okay.
Google?
Next time you need to know if something is playing somewhere, you just say stream blah blah blah, or where can I stream this on Google?
I get it, but
And the first
I
thing that
figured
popped
it
up
would
when I
be on one of these.
When I typed Tombstone into Google, the first thing it said was Disney Plus.
I had time. So I text you, but at the same time, I found it on Amazon Prime for $3 to rent. So long story short, we rented it. However, the funny thing about Amazon Prime is they'll say you have 30 days to watch.
So wait,
But
you can only get it for 24 hours.
2 days to finish it from the time you started.
So
How does that make sense?
Wait a second. You said you have time. So after you found the fact that you can find it, but you have to pay for it, you were just like, this is good enough.
Well, I sent you that text, and I was waiting before we did it. Like we went and we kind of like.
Yeah, but I didn't even go into my Disney Plus to check. I just said Tombstone Disney Plus.
But I don't have
and
your
then,
password anyway.
Yeah, but that's fine. But
It would have taken time for you to give me your password the same way.
whatever you say, man.
The movie, it's an hour. It's 2
I don't know
hours.
why you should still be logged in there. It's not like I changed
No,
the
we
password.
changed the TV.
Oh,
Remember the new TV? So either way, Tombstone. If you haven't watched it, great fucking movie. Kurt
Tombstone
Russell,
pile driver. That's Undertaker and Gainesville.
completely different things. Both pretty cool. So it's with Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer, Bill Paxton, and a whole bunch of other people that you would know. About 1800s, old, mining towns in the West. Mm-hmm. Pretty crazy movie, dope ass. OK Corral,
Somewhere in Oregon.
they call it Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday type shit. Like old school fucking, old lore,
Yeah.
if you will, of
I think you're looking for the lore.
lure.
Lure is what you
What
use
was
to
I
catch
just
a
telling
fish.
you? You should say what was
No,
the
no,
word?
but lure is a U and lore is a O. And lure, you catch fish and shit with that, like a fishing lure, not a fishing a lure. It's like
All right, well, it's a lore.
like a story about
then.
fish.
It's lore. Old lore, as Adam said it was supposed to be.
Folklore, you know? Why we call it folklore. I'm trying to lure you folks.
Okay, either way. But great movie. But we watched that last night. And,
You got to give clip content, you know?
well, Adam started talking in gibberish just now. And Doc Holliday
It's not what I
wasn't
did.
talking in gibberish, who is Val Kilmer, but he was like, everything he said was he didn't say a lot, but prolific and very concise, right? And it would always like shock the people he said it to. They'd be like, what the fuck do I do now? Because he's supposedly a really good, like the best gunslinger in
Dale here
in
is
the
a
land.
process servant. He's like, no, it's not what I am.
But yeah, I don't even know why I got to talking about that. But because you were talking like that. But Tombstone's good. And yeah, that was a roundabout way to talk about a movie for no reason, I guess.
Well, you know what I learned in my WWF rabbit hole? Kane refers to the Kane, or he did at that time when he was the original Kane, didn't take off his mask and all that shit. He referred to the Kane fans as Canaanites.
That's stupid.
It's stupid, but it's hilarious the way it all happened because The Rock was talking to Hulk Hogan and Kane came up and they were all going to team up to fight the other NWO members or something like that.
Okay.
And then Kane comes up and he basically channels his Hulk Hogan. And he's like, what you gonna do when the big red machine come for you?
That's what Kane said?
Yeah, but he also he talked
Did he
about
still have his mask on?
yeah, and he was like, The Rock's millions upon millions, and the Hulk's 20,000 Hulkamaniacs. He's like, and the Canaanites. The way
needed
he
to
said
come
it
up
all
with
was
something.
hilarious, yeah. But some of the little promos that they did, because I'm sure they had to be like one shot, like you can't catch that energy again, right? So that's what like gives me the respect for them, the ability to kind of have that little acting thing that they do, and then go out and be some of the most athletic athletes. That's really what they were.
I mean, I never would say that the athleticism was missing within that sport.
Nah.
It's
And
truly,
the sheer disregard for their body, you know.
Yeah. I mean, they're
Throwing
their backs directly at a mat. And I know you fall, you're supposed to evenly distribute, blah, 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 blah,
there's
blah,
ways
blah,
to do it,
blah,
but you
blah,
still get
blah.
hurt, man, you know?
We've seen people fall and die. Doesn't matter.
Well, that was a different story. It came from a type.
But, no matter how much you know how to fall, I'm just saying.
It's true.
It's probably a fucked up way to go about saying that, but, what are you going to do?
It's a long way home. All right, cool, man. Let's see. I know you sent me some of your list, and since
I
you
think
have
that
your
this is pretty much,
well,
gone now.
no,
it's only the bottom.
Well, so the top half is the stuff that we
Old
already went
stuff,
over
yeah,
because
yeah.
Wallow at Target. Gotcha. I don't think we talked about Selena Gomez, so I don't know
That
much
was a long
about
time
that.
ago. I don't really care about that.
Well, you said that they're not friends.
I don't
anymore.
remember any of it anymore. Like, I don't remember why it was funny to me. You ever just write something down and remember the Jerry Seinfeld episode where he could not figure out why he wrote it down in the middle of the night?
Yeah, it was only like one word.
Like, what the
like
fuck
that,
is
right?
this?
You did have your realization about the pizza establishment, Domino's.
Oh, yeah, dude. I was watching fucking YouTube or something yesterday, and a Domino's commercial came on, and I just want to say that I'm 37 years old. Domino's has probably been around that whole time, I would assume.
I was today years old when I learned.
I just realized that their fucking logo symbol is a domino. Now, I know that would be fairly obvious if you're thinking about it in any way.
Crickets.
Yeah, but it's a domino.
Which, I hate this stupid
Listen,
crickets thing. It's the worst
I promise
crickets
you-
thing of all time. Squeaky bike wheel.
I was just at home and super fucking surprised and mad at myself. I was like, how did you not realize that? For those who don't know, look at it. It's a literal domino. I guess it's not that surprising to most. I just surprised the shit out of myself yesterday.
All right, I'll get you out of that. Give me a time when you've come across something that you're largely opposed to, and you are like, oh, why the fuck would they do this? And you're getting ready to go and yell at the only other person who it could have possibly been because, like, they live with you or whatever it is. And then you're like, oh, wait, I did that. It was my fault.
Oh, like what? Like, are you saying like
Like you're about to blame somebody for
just to
something
clarify,
that
are
you
you
did.
talking about like a possible scenario where I was in my house and I saw something and I got immediately to cussing out Vivi, and then like 5 minutes later I realized I had done that.
Yeah.
There is situations where that has occurred. I am not gonna lie to you. I don't remember them specifically right now. I don't. But there are definitely times where I've been like,
It's like as
this
stupid as you
fucking
feel.
girl, dude. Why the fuck can she not get this shit right? And I'll go on for like 5 minutes, cussing, and then like it'll hit me.
It's stupid as
I
you
think
feel
I
when
did
you're
that.
like walking around the house looking for your car keys, and you're the whole time you've had them in your hand, and you're
Or
like,
you're looking for your phone while
"What
you're
the
talking.
fuck is wrong with me?"
You'll be on your phone talking to
I am
somebody like,
stupid.
I can't find my phone right now.
Yeah, like
Sunglasses on your head.
what is it about the human brain that just doesn't allow us to kind of register that until we're like, what
I'll
the
be honest,
fuck
I
is
don't
wrong with
know
me?
how smart humans really are.
No, we're stupid. Humans
Like,
are dumb.
We're not really that great at things.
No.
Like, I mean, we're good in some areas. Like, there are some really high points for us as a human race. Some, but when you really think about it, they've probably all really been below average, right? Like, if you really want to say this is where we should have been with most of the things we've ever tried to do, right? And then you really start to read history. It gets lower and lower beneath that bar. And I think that if aliens were to come here, they probably would look at us and be like, you know what? You got it, dog. You keep that.
I think the problem is that humans, we let our ego let us think that we are too smart. Okay?
Because they
There's a certain point in human evolution where everything was still just based on basic instinct, right? You're hungry, you ate. You're tired, you slept. You're horny, you fucked. All those type of things. And we have largely just convoluted everything.
the world is overcomplicated. It's overstimulated. It's overcrowded.
We think we're too smart, and it's not a good thing for us.
We use the idea that because we have the ability to discern between certain things and certain decisions and whatnot, that we're superior. I don't think we are. I think we're just able to outthink ourselves or think ourselves into believing we are. You know?
It's true.
Like-
when you tell a lie that you even believe, you start to believe, like, you live so deep in your lie that you believe it.
George Costanza, it's not a lie
If you believe it.
if you believe it isn't a lie. If you believe it's the truth, right? So you go take these lie detector tests, and I'd be like, did you rob that place? And I truly believe I didn't. I may have. I may fucking have the money in my pocket as we speak.
This
But
whole
I
topic,
did not.
This whole topic feeds right into like the most profound shit I ever said, and it was a couple days ago, right? So we're coming back from our
37 years. I mean,
33 years.
33.
Check yourself.
But the way you've been talking is like you're 39 and I'm 37.
Well, whatever.
I was asleep at 9:30 yesterday.
39
You
years.
don't call my phone after 10 o'clock.
Mind you. All right.
Who's calling my phone after 10 p.m.?
39, you don't sound like that. And if you do start to sound like that at some point in life, it's just because you never gave up smoking. You just continued right along killing your lungs.
It's probably fair.
But so what happened was we were on our way back from Sarah's birthday dinner, right? At Reese's. Whatever. We're in the car.
Yo, Reese's, they've just kind of fallen off.
Well, we won't get too
I mean, the
deep
food
into
was
that.
decent, but they fell off.
Yeah. There's should have been more people there. Should have been dressed the way they made us dress. Anyway, so I was like, we were talking about something like, Pop's talking to Sarah about her future, like potential marriage of love and life, and trying to figure all that out. And I was like, man, we busy over here, too busy trying to race life. We need to just embrace life, And I feel like that's humankind. Fucked all that up. We as humans have not been able to do that.
All right, Sharpton.
No, it's not Sharpton. All right, I'm thinking like
Say it again. Say you're saying one more time.
So we're over here trying to race life. We need to slow down and embrace life.
Race it how?
Race it like we always have like goals that we need to try to get to the next thing, get to the next thing, get to the next thing. When it's all said and done, we're gonna die. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And yeah, I understand it was about leaving.
I ain't gonna lie. It's a lot of things I can't buy.
I understand that like it's largely about leaving a legacy and making your mark on the world and changing it for whatever better or worse that you choose. You know, whatever it is that you strive for. Maybe making a way for the generation after you.
You know,
But
I seen,
to some degree, man, you know,
in-
life you only get one go around here.
in Tombstone, right? There's a woman in there that he meets, and they're talking about like what you've seen it. So you know when she's like, what's your happiness? And she's like room service, right? And her thought is she just wants to keep traveling and going and live off room service and obviously
That's
is
an ideology I
idealistic.
can get behind.
It's
man.
idealistic, and you'd have to have money.
Some
you'd have
Play-Doh
to have
shit.
This
Like the
freedom to do
philosopher.
that. But you know that there's something to that. The idea that you know you do only live once, and I believe the longer you're on this planet, the more that becomes more apparent to you. Mm-hmm. And
Of course, you start to recognize mortality.
I really could get with the idea of just being. We talked about it last week, like kind of nomadic in a sense, right? Where if for instance the lottery was just like 1.4 billion, if I had won, I think I've said it before, if I won the lottery, the first year, nobody will. You're not going to have a place to find me consistently. I'll take a month. Or
As Ivory told Silas in How High on a macro scale or a micro scale, right? He said, "The world's bigger than Staten Island, dog." It's true for wherever you're at.
Yeah.
You know, like
But no,
Chicago's great. Everything around there's a lot of dope shit to see in here, right?
Yeah.
And as a resident, it's easy to forget that. It's easy to kind of like just live your life and not
well,
really
it's
think
not.
about those
You don't
things.
forget about it. They don't gear it towards you. It's not. It's tourist driven. It's not.
Yeah, but
residential.
still, like
It's not
sometimes you got to go be a tourist in
driven-
your own city.
Yeah, but I'm saying like
But-
it's way too much money to want to do it.
Fine. Outside of that, what I'm really saying here is that you want to like go and appreciate all the things in the place that you live, but like there's a lot to go and see in the world. United States alone, while it has a lot of fucked up politics, the actual land itself is beautiful. There's
Really
a lot
dope.
to see.
But no, I told you what I would do is because I think there's something to that. The idea of living off of room service, not necessarily worrying about the societal norms that have been set. You know, this pressure they put on you to do this, like to find your career, to be set by this certain age, to get them married, to then have the children, have the house, have the career for however long, get retired, and like they feed you this narrative that you should be this way because it keeps you in line and keeps you part of their system that lets them live the way that ideally you would live if you could do the things they do, right? And that's why for me, I personally would like to.
There's no capitalism without customers.
That's it. You need one without the other. So for me, I could see myself. That's why I brought up the lottery. If I don't have it now, but if I had money and a large influx of it right away, I'm going to take months, like a month at a time at a resort here, a resort there, and just literally live like a king.
Not even resorts, man. Like this.
No, a resort because I
minus what you say about Airbnbs. That's another one of the dope shits, right? When you're going to stay in a third world country, for lack of a better term, still an ugly term to me, but whatever. The hotel selection may not be the greatest. Whatever, like you're not like in all the touristy spots of America where there's just mad places that are hotels and shit. But most of the beauty of other countries come when you go into the country. You know what I mean? Like I largely one of my bucket list trips is Costa Rica. Because it's like 60% green.
Yeah.
And
I hear it's
and
very
they said like
beautiful.
the majority of the tropical like birds and shit like that on the planet reside there.
That's why
And I'm not like a
that's
bird
why,
watching type of
That's why
but like
Jimmy goes. He's
Yeah.
a ornithologist. That's
Yeah.
what they call bird people who study
Oh.
birds. I know shit, son.
all right, I'm glad somebody's there.
But no, I guess you're right. Like I understand your argument. I get it. People argue with us this Airbnb thing.
I'm all about the resort. The resort life is dope as hell.
No, we're not talking about.
But I would like to go-
We're not talking about resorts like my budget now. I'm talking about where's the nice. Where is the Four Seasons? Where is the top level penthouse? And what is the all inclusive?
And I feel you.
And I'll
But-
spend
but-
20, 30K. I'm talking about I win the crazy amount, I'm going to spend the time in a resort in the biggest room they have for weeks at a time, and then jump to another island and do the same.
I feel you. But
I don't
again,
have
like
to
I
worry
want to
about
go
cleaning clothes.
I like to go and explore part of it sometimes.
You can
too.
do that
You know
too.
what I mean?
You can do that too. Dude, you could charter a helicopter. Take me over here. You got money now, son.
If I hit that, man,
I don't
I'm
know.
hiring Bill Burr. Fly me around in a helicopter and tell me
Listen.
some jokes.
It's going to take you down.
Let's talk about misogyny for a while.
You want me to tell some jokes? I'll tell you some jokes. Right into
I
the
don't
ground.
think he would do that. His kids.
Yeah, I know, but he seems angry enough where if you told him to do that, he'd be pissed.
He's reformed.
He'd be pissed. But that's what I would do. So I can see the idea that there's, to me, admittedly, and to you guys' credit, you guys constantly remind me that I thought it came of it late, or came of the realization late, that traveling is very important.
I can show you the world.
But I truly think about it. I just had my physical last week, I think. Actually, that I did this week as well. I had my yearly physical, so I had my blood work and all that done, and everything is good. But then they have the vitamin D, and everybody is vitamin D deficient in this area of the U.S. the planet, because we don't get a lot of sun. Like when we've had like a couple of days of sun in the last month or so.
Which is where having a dog is a good benefit.
You go outside.
Because you go out there first thing in the morning. Like that's the best time to go and get your vitamin
right
D.
away.
Anytime I say vitamin D, I just feel like a pause has to come along with it. But anyway, you go out there first thing in the morning, you walk the dog, you get fresh air. Like that's how you wake up.
That's why I miss the summertime, right? Because in the summer, on weekends at least, I'll get a cup of coffee, I'll bring something down, and I'll just sit on the porch and let the sun hit me, or even better at night, because the sun comes off at my backyard and there's more sun. But that being said, there's value to that. Like that's why I enjoy the beach. You take me, not the beach here,
near the beach.
like a tropical beach, like humid sun from the equator. I'm talking about fucking blues.
One of the
and
days I'm gonna
sand.
come in here and do a whole pod with just quotes.
We could probably do it.
Probably.
We could do it.
We
If
know
you can
enough.
do it, I can do it, sucker. But there's something to that lifestyle. And all I'm saying is I would really be kind of dope to take some time and live like that. Like,
Smell the flowers.
You know what I
Smell
would
the
want to
roses,
do?
as they say.
You know what I really, really kind of want to look into a little further is that van life. I would like to have one of those vans, like a transit, right? Where maybe me and Vivi deck it out, make it real cool.
Get a little TV in the back.
No, I'm talking about how they truly put them shits together, like nice kitchen area.
Like when Kelso from That 70 Show had his
No,
van, he put a
not-
shag rug in the inside and shit.
I'm talking about they make these they make these transits like actual RVs.
Yeah.
I could see myself doing a month-long trip to the West Coast and back.
Doper than that, if I had the wherewithal to get myself around, boat life. Go live on a boat for like a month out of the year, travel to a couple places, and then dock it back up.
That would be cool too. Living on a boat
For the longest time,
there's so many alternatives to normal life normal life that motherfuckers.
and I salute the people who go out and do them shits.
I would even like to take a month and go literally travel Jordan.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Just chill in Jordan with the family. It'd be cool, obviously, as Palestinians to do it, to be able to go there. But I'm just not fucking with that right now. But to go to Jordan,
It's a branding issue.
meet around branding is definitely the issue.
For the longest time, what I really wanted to do was go and step foot on all 7 continents, right? Obviously, probably 6 because Antarctica is not what I'm really trying to do.
I could just picture you plane comes down. All right, now get back on the plane.
Hell no, honestly, fuck that. Because some of them flights got to be long as shit. I ain't trying to do that. But
I just seen Lewis Hamilton, the F1 driver for Mercedes. He was running in Antarctica. I was like, where the hell? How'd you get there? How?
somebody had to just drop them. Like, they didn't even land. They just had to rappel down or some shit. But, now I'm like, yo, man, even that is not enough. There's, 184 countries or some shit like that in the world.
It's pretty hard.
There's mad countries.
There's so much to see and so much to do. I have a friend who travels a lot, right? He works for the airline, so he gets his discount, so he be traveling. Right now, he is in Madrid.
It's dope.
Like just almost on a whim, it seems like.
It's like Nina, man, just running out there hitting
I
every
envy
place she
the
can
way
go.
she lives. Fairly like because dude, she's in Peru now, like just chilling in Peru.
Yep.
With no like, oh, I have to be
I
home.
got a chick from Peru that sniff for glue. She got a cousin that. Nah, but yeah, it's definitely There's just a lot of the world to see, man, and it's
So much.
I want to go and see more of it.
That's
really what the money would do for me.
I do want that, and that's okay. So
Like I'd set up a dope ass home base, have a little house built out here that just has everything I wanted with it, and it'll be my home base. Like
I don't even think I would buy a big home.
I would for sure.
I would have
Probably not here though.
I would
probably not in Chicago.
No. I would have like a dope ass like condo downtown, maybe.
I'd want something that I can build and just have that like my safe haven. But I think of do something like close to a mountain range, live up in the mountains a little bit secluded.
Yeah,
so that when I'm
probably.
done doing a little runaround thing, just
I
be
could
back in
listen.
my quiet.
All jokes aside, I could see why Kanye decided Wyoming.
He sold that thing, don't he?
Well, yeah, but we've been there. We've seen
Yeah.
how wide and how widespread and like
Yeah, there's
they
a lot
call-
of races there, but only when you go
No.
into town,
They call
we hire a white guy to go and do my shopping for me. This is this, man. Go get it.
Like, hey man, I need a white dude to come live with me. I need a white man to come to live with me.
Nah, man, he ain't invited to
Well,
live
like,
here. You can have
imagine
the
the
guest
imagine-
shack in the back. Some
Imagine the ad in that town paper. Male seeking male, preferably white,
preferably Caucasian descent.
must be white to live with him on daily basis.
Must be
do chores.
Wyoming white.
Go get groceries.
Because
Stock.
there's a difference.
Are you asking for a butler?
You got to be Wyoming white. You can't just be white.
You could be white.
There's
white.
a difference, man.
Yeah,
There's
that's
a difference.
true,
They
I
know
guess.
when you're not a local.
Yeah, they do.
know what
But
I mean?
that's everywhere. Everywhere knows that you're
Not
not
a word,
local.
but some places.
Look at these people
Some
driving
places are
runway
more
down the street.
welcoming to the non-locals than others.
It's true.
And that's just one of those places. Like they put on a fucking like little play or whatever about was it Billy the Kid and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like these motherfuckers celebrate their fucking heritage from back then.
It's true. It's true.
You got to be careful with those places. But
I'll say that either way, I get why you would move to such a place. I think I would probably not pick Wyoming or Montana, though I get it. Remember when we were in
trying to take a victory lap.
Montana?
Yeah.
And when we were in Montana and we went up there and kicked it in the morning, and like just the view alone, it's so fucking vast. They call Montana Big Sky Land or Land of Big Sky,
Something like
it's not a lie. It's
Yeah.
I can see that. And if you've got the paper, really, you can go ahead and get a helicopter pad and be out that bitch. I would just do my groceries in a better place and just bring my groceries from across state lines.
Yeah. It would take some thought, but I would probably do.
Would you stop landing your helicopter in our parking lot?
Like I said before, probably like the Atlantic Northeast. I don't know if you refer to it the same way as like you do Pacific Northwest, but I'm
Atlantic
just gonna
Northeast?
do that. Yeah,
You mean like New Hampshire and Massachusetts?
like Maine, Vermont,
Massachusetts?
that type of shit. On my way to Canada for some French fries and gravy, sir.
So I know we're
Yeah,
getting close, but before we get to sneakers or whatever, what have you,
Right.
they just offered Lionel Messi, Mr. Messi.
Oh yeah, back to the Saudi
like
Arabians.
Saudi offered him like
For
$450 or $60 million a
year.
1 year
That's annually.
to play for their club. How many years would you do it? Because I already know I'm going. Are you contemplating saying no?
I would do 5 seasons.
5? That's a lot, man.
It's too Billy, bro.
I know, but it's a
Fuck.
lot.
I don't give a fuck.
I think I would do 2 and fake an injury.
It depends what my contract says.
My
It depends what my contract says. How much do I have to play? He's old already. Like he's been in the game for
Well,
a minute.
we already know the reason they're asking him to come.
Yo, Saudi
for
is
his
hilarious
name.
though, man. They
They
were
got paper.
they're literally like, yo, we can make a special provision to our laws so that even though you're not married, you
Cristiano
can live with
Ronaldo
your
can
partner.
live with his
like
girl.
they're hilarious. Yeah.
Can you imagine all the people that live there? Like, bitch, what?
I saw a meme and they were like, girl, if he has to go to a length to get the country to change the law just to avoid marrying you. I was like, yo, don't you women understand at this point? There's like very little.
That's true. He could have just married her.
Don't you understand at this point? There's very little incentive for that, especially if you're like up like that. Like, come on, man.
That's insane.
It's
Damn,
hilarious.
I hadn't thought about that.
That's real funny.
Well, yeah. What do you think about that?
It had
You
to be a woman to
saying
catch
5
that.
years?
Yeah.
I said I'm going to say 2 with an injury for the third.
It depends what's my contract. Like, is there a certain amount of minutes that I have to play every game? Is there what's expected?
The reason they're signing him is for the
they-
draw. He's the draw.
Yeah, but 4 or 5 years is too billy.
I get it. No, I'm saying that that's fine. I'm just saying the reason they're signing him.
I'll
I
be
don't
out.
believe
5 years.
I don't believe there's
$2
like,
billion. Holla at.
Well, you're saying he's obviously, but I'm saying he's older, right? So I'm not. I'm saying they're not signing him because yes, he'll may be able to help them win.
I will be a player coach.
But he is the draw.
Help
The
teach
point
the
is
people.
to get eyes into Saudi, which is weird.
I think they have enough eyes on them already.
Yeah, I don't know what the really game plan is here.
I don't know either, but they're saying like the people who are like going around buying all the artist catalogs and shit. They're
That's
like
them?
Saudi Arabian connections, which
Where on earth
before
is our Arab connections for this money, man? We
Real,
need this
man.
oil money.
yo
real
Pops
quick.
knows every Arab in the world besides the ones that can get us
They
rich.
got money. Almost all the like how many? I don't know how many actual wealthy Arab people I've met.
I'll tell you this much: I've never been in a room with my pops where there's other Arabs that are not in our family that he didn't know them. Never in my life. He's known all of them.
And it's like they
I'm like,
all
how?
came from
There's
the
like
same
this weird
neighborhood and
connection.
overseas and shit.
Right? Like, oh, you just live right up the block. Like, I don't think so. On a very related note to the catalogs thing, Dr. Dre, he sold a portion of his catalog for like $250 plus.
Oh, I seen that. That's weird.
But it said a portion. At first,
wonder what the
At first,
portion
I read
is.
it was the entire thing. But then I saw
Yeah,
the portions.
I wonder what that portion is.
I don't know, man. But Dre got his hands in a lot of projects, so I don't know.
Well, that'd be cool to see.
Probably
what it is,
he
but-
probably makes more money off the projects that he like was executive producer and shit on, more than he makes on his solo shit.
probably so.
Because solo projects
He
ain't
doesn't
that
have
big.
that. He doesn't have that plentiful of
I mean,
2 albums, but
both Chronics
actually
were-
NWA too. Maybe you're wrong.
I don't know.
You might be wrong.
With Chronic 2000, and then the original Chronic.
Yep.
Both them shits was,
No, I'm saying that's why. Like I'm starting. I said what I said and then kind of ate my
but
words.
still, it's only 2 albums.
Well, talking about NWA.
Yeah, but
And
and
then-
NWA was still only one project as a group.
I don't know. I mean,
And I don't know because he just did I guess not recently. You saw the video where Kendrick Lamar interviewed all of them, obviously besides Easy.
No.
So it was for
Honestly, I love Kendrick, but he's starting to annoy me.
this was like 6-7 years ago, I think.
Okay,
Something
well
like
then I
that.
would have been okay with it back then.
But it was, I still like Kendrick. I don't have an issue with him. Like he's not in the public eye doing interviews and shit enough for me to get tired of him.
I
He
just
does
don't
his
see
music.
how people. He's great. He's
What-
a great
what-
MC,
what-
but I just
what
don't
exhausts
like
you
where
about
he's placed
him-
in this?
What exhausts you about him is the hype that other people build around him.
Probably so.
It's not him, you know. Okay, and then real fast, we can get a little bit of sports in here, and then we can close things out. But LeBron, when they asked him about like who do you see in the league who can get close to your scoring thing, whatever, he said KD without any hesitation.
Well, yeah, I do believe KD is.
So there's a reason why they call him easy money.
Yeah, I think. Well, he's injured right now, and
But he was a scoring champ mad
what
times.
would derail him from that is this consistent nagging injury thing that he gets. So
Because
LeBron
he wears low tops.
LeBron
Does he
didn't.
still wear low tops?
I don't know.
He's 7 foot tall, man. Half his
yeah, I
ankle
don't
is
know.
sticking out. Like I don't know how
LeBron is LeBron. Luckily, minus this load management shit, has been fairly lucky. He didn't. He hasn't really
You
had.
ain't getting no respect from me on
He
that.
hasn't had those. No, I'm talking about like in
To that
terms
point.
Of,
I
in
know.
terms of his injuries, he's been fairly. What's the word I'm looking for? Not lucky, but I guess fortunate for the
I know
reasoning that-
Skip Bayless got a whole lot of controversy, but him saying like, "Yo,
Yeah, I get
MJ
it, but-
for 9 seasons played 82 games, even in what? Nah,
I maintain that pretty often too. That they played more games back in the day than they do
a
now.
whole lot of
But I'm saying what I'm getting at
pusillanimous.
that we're not. My point isn't involving that. It's more that he hasn't had those long durations off. Right? KD had a season or so off. Remember, he didn't even play the bubble. Remember? So what I'm getting at is that might be what keeps him from.
But I think just the overall point is if anybody has the skill level to do it, which I mean,
Yeah,
you got to be fair to like Steph and
look
shit like that as well.
You can look that to Steph If Steph would have been a,
He still can, man. He's young. He's young enough to like.
I don't think he plays that much longer.
I think he does.
I don't think
He's also been relatively injury free. He had
no,
maybe
I'm
one
saying
injury.
long enough to where you see his number go to that point.
He might.
I don't think so.
He might. He's
They asked Luka, right? They said Luka, what they're talking about the points, and he's like 20 years. I don't know.
He's like, I'd rather go back.
He's
to
like,
the
I'd
farm.
rather be back at my house, my farm in Slovenia by then.
That's hilarious, yo.
I don't blame him.
I don't think he meant like he wants to go back there. I think like instead of playing that long, he'd rather just
20
be back
years,
there on the
yeah.
farm. Like, I know
No, but I think he means in terms. I bet you his farm is fucking nice.
And I think
You
it's
ever seen
Albania.
like Jokic? Jokic he wants to be a horse racer.
Well, it's
Did I
different.
ever tell you
That's
this?
different than tending
You
a
know
farm.
the horse where they got the cart,
like
the
a
horse-
jockey. Oh. That's hilarious.
Like
At some point you're too
like
tall to do
snow
those
dogs
things.
and
At some point your ass is too
He's
tall.
7 foot tall on this fucking. Those horses are probably like this fucking guy.
The same thing I be thinking when playing God of War because he has he has two wolves that are like his sled dogs essentially.
That guy's big as fuck.
Like these poor wolves, and he like whips them like
Yeah, dude,
smacks
that's
them
too
like
much.
this poor dog.
He's going too far, my man.
But no, I mean KD. He was scoring champ like 8 seasons or 9 seasons out of his career so far. Like he's put on.
Are you sure about that?
Uh-huh.
I thought it was less, but you could be correct.
Yeah, he did on his he's definitely put on scoring clinics in his career.
Had he not, I don't think his career is. I think he loves hooping, but I don't think it goes.
He's also only like 33, 30.
Yeah, but I don't think he's gonna play the 20 and beyond as much.
Maybe not, but
I think out of just sheer not wanting to.
Well, because he's
not
also
because of the physicality of it.
He's tall and also like an athletic, like above the rim player.
Yeah.
Where that's why I say Steph could because Steph he
just shoots.
Yeah, I mean, don't get
I
me
can
wrong.
shoot like a motherfucker.
He's definitely developed like his ability to dribble, drive, and all that shit throughout the seasons. He's improved with that, year over year.
but he's got a more sustainable playing style.
Yeah.
LeBron is still getting up there and dunking. KD is still getting up there and dunking.
Steph dunks, but it's like only on a fast break when there's like not.
I think the question
Ain't shitting on
involves
people
who
like
can
that.
score as effortlessly or score that amount of points effortlessly.
That's what I'm saying, Steph. Because literally,
I think
all you gotta
KD
do,
scores that.
All you
better.
gotta do is go look at clips of Steph like going off on after getting pissed off, right?
Yeah.
Like somebody talked shit to him, somebody said something to him, whatever, and it just like they'll do those little effects with like the fire in his eyes and shit, and then all of a sudden within like the next 5 minutes he
He's
puts like
on fire.
30 points up and shit out. Like there's very few people who in the
don't-
history of the league can put them up in bunches like
I
that.
don't know. I think you're right. I don't know. Okay, at their peak, like anger, I'm on fire type shit. I don't
He's
know if
on
I don't know
fire.
if anybody scores as easily as KD.
There was I forgot what the game was. I think it might have been NBA Jam where in Family Guy, Peter and Cleveland were playing. And he's like, oh, but there's a glitch in this game. You can't take corner threes. So every time Peter got the ball, he'd run up, corner three, and he'd steal the ball back, corner three. I was like, this shit is hilarious. Well, yeah, so
Alrighty. Yeah, I don't know.
so Peter might be able to get that point racked up. And also I call bullshit on the idea that LeBron isn't concerned with getting the scoring record. Yes, you are, you fucking lying ass. He's like, I've always been concerned. A team first guy.
I didn't know he said that.
He said, I've
For
always been a
me-
team first guy. I like to see my guys get their points. I know you want to have like a long thought out process
His
of like,
deferment speaks to that more than
yeah.
what I'm saying.
It's not that he wants to see them. It's just that he is afraid to take the big shots. And people are like, oh, Steve Kerr hit that three for MJ.
If I was afraid to take the big shots, I would.
Yeah, but you're the biggest player
I would
in the
mask it as that too. I just like to see my players give.
You're the biggest player in the world.
I know.
You're
but
supposed to have clutch moments.
He should. But I'm saying
Instead of having clutch moments, then my man had cramp moments.
Okay,
oh,
true,
my leg
true,
went out. I'm going to sit out the
true.
last 5 minutes of this game.
But I'm saying, regardless of that, if I was afraid, I'd mask it as, I just like to get my players get their points too.
If you're Keith Bogans and you average 2 points a game, then you can go and do
Why are you
that.
bringing up Bogans like that?
Because I don't like him.
Yeah,
because you did nothing for my team, you son of a
Zero.
bitch. So if you are a player like that and they give you the ball and you're like, oh, there's 3 seconds left, I can pass this off, fine. But if you're LeBron James, you need to be taking that shot.
I agree.
You shouldn't even trust it in anybody else's hand.
100% I agree that. But what I'm saying
Give
is,
the ball to Ray
if I
Allen, give the
was
ball to
considered
Kyrie.
great,
There's too many
if I was considered
examples.
great, right? If I was considered great, and for some reason I was a pussy when it came to like those final second shots, and I passed it every time, you're not gonna hear me say I was scared. I'm gonna say I wanted my man to get the recognition. I wanted my boy to get those points. I knew what he was trying to do.
What makes me mad about it is his Dick Rider fans are the ones that'll be like, oh, but Steve Kerr hit that shot for MJ. Yo, there is endless footage of him taking clutch shots. One time he defers, and it's because why not? Steve Kerr had the open look, and he's a 3-point shooter.
What happens to a shot deferred? I'm not gonna get into that because that's pretty fucked up. Though
Doesn't matter because he made it. Steve Kerr learned his role after he got punched in the face. It happens. You know, sometimes you need an ass whooping to put you back in check.
It's true. That's why they call it a chin check.
True.
Anyway, we got sneakers.
Yeah. Let's wrap this up. I put on these pine green ones. You've been breaking out the ones so much recently, and I had to remind people I also got a tight shoe game.
They've been doing a lot of ones lately. Actually, they released those True Blues yesterday, and I'm gonna be perfectly honest. The more I look at them, the more I like them.
My boy Blue.
I just don't. It's one of those things where do I need them really? No, I don't. I'm gonna try to get the black and white OGs next month.
Word.
Those are coming out. I'm gonna give those a shot.
I was thinking about those fives, the red fives that came out.
Oh, those are girls.
No, they come in girl sizes, but they were.
Oh, okay. And I thought they were girls.
But I don't think I'm gonna.
Okay. I'm wearing the flu games. I was gonna wear the 4s. I just figured I might as well wear these because I don't wear them a lot when it gets warm because they're just big and bulky like boots.
I mean, that doesn't bother me about them. Only thing is, there's just one of those colorways where it's like it's got to be an occasion.
I guess
to me.
It's an occasion. It's
a highly regarded sneaker in my world.
It's podcast day.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, man.
That's where most of my fire comes out,
Most of your shoes are highly regarded. So what are you going to do? Just not wear any of them?
Well, you just say you don't like to wear them when it gets warm out. But you're not going to wear them in the wintertime.
Only because of how big they are. Like, my feet get hot. They don't breathe. Those who wear 12s, 12s have no breathing.
And now you answered the question for the fandom: why you take your foot out of
because they don't breathe, man.
And now they're like, oh yeah.
You know how like new shoes have like breathability and
I feel like all those fucking foot fetish people are like Ken Kniff from Eminem skits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fucking weirdos.
Fucking nuts.
We should try to find a way on TikTok to make fun of them and also grow our following via that.
If we could. Without it insulting anybody, I'd say we do it.
I don't care if it insults anybody.
All right.
All right, y'all. That is gonna be it for us for 165. I think it was a good episode. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed viewing it. If you did indeed view more than just the bottom level of the camera,
yeah,
fucking sick bastards. We do appreciate you all tuning in, of course. Make sure you remember to go and hit them subscribe buttons everywhere there is one, and where there's not, there's probably a follow button, so hit that.
We'd appreciate it. Give us some support on those platforms, please.
Yeah, and just give us your money on Patreon. Eventually, we'll do other things there.
Bottom line, the more support you give us, or because a lot of the support you can give is free.
There's a couple upgrades I want to make here.
The more support, the better.
Need your money.
The more the support, the more content.
Right.
Unfortunately, it doesn't necessarily mean that the money has to come from you, but your support somehow correlates directly to our money.
Nah, but it'd be cool if you can give us some of your money too, because
I like money. I have a little bit. I keep it in a jar above my refrigerator. I like to put more in there. That's where you come in.
Yeah. So peace out then, y'all.
Love y'all. Peace.
He said love you again. Look.
Fuck these guys.